Scylla.
Okay, everyone, time for some fun!
Hello there everybody, what are you doing? I'm SuperSonicBlur and welcome back to the next God Guide kit explanation and build! Today we're going to be going over this little horror, Scylla. Fantastically fun mage, very strong late game, and has the potential to, no matter how bad a game is going, completely 180 degrees flip that reverse pile drive off the top straight into the win. Straight up. This god has the potential to just end games for a team. Straight up. She gets ahead, she can end a game. She gets behind, but does one thing in a team fight, she can end a game. Stupid fun. And has some interesting mechanical points which some people may not necessarily know of, and it is important to learn them to maximize the potential of Scylla. And that's what I'm here for. That's what I'm here to try and help you with, is to explain those things. If you have a look on the screen now, then you'll see each of the 3 different sections of this guide in case any one of those in particular takes your fancy. But right now it's time to go over the kit of Scylla. So Scylla's passive is called Quick Learner. For each of Scylla's abilities that are at max rank, they will gain an additional effect. As well as this, she will also gain 20 magical power. That is pretty good. This means that level 20, she will gain an additional 80 power for doing nothing other than being level 20. That is pretty good. Bearing in mind that as a mage you're going to be building the item Rodatahuti, that means that you're going to be in a situation where you have a bonus, what is 25, you're going to be having a bonus 100 power for nothing. Scylla just gets that, not to mention as well her abilities getting that additional effect. These additional effects aren't exactly nothing to scoff at, they are in fact pretty damn good. Her basic attacks are pretty nice. They're pretty much the standard mage thing. There's only a couple that I could think of that have any kind of attack chain, and she ain't one of them. She just has that standard, I do this, I go, we're buff, we're buff, we're buff. So that's what Scylla do with her basics. Now her one is called Sick'em. Scylla sends forward 2 hounds, Ajax and Zoe, I believe, are the 2 names for it. Either way, she sends forward these 2 hounds, damaging, rooting, and crippling the first enemy hit. At max rank, 2 additional enemies that are nearby to the first target will also be hit. The root and cripple duration for this is pretty good. Let's just get ourselves the standard 100 to see the scaling on it, and you will see it has 75 scaling on it. That's pretty good. So 75% scaling on an ability that also roots every 10 seconds is pretty strong. Early game, it's going to be useful to just get that one target and knock them out. But late game, you can hit up to 3 enemy gods with this. And if you do, you are going to start turning the potential for a fight here, because of the fact that they're rooted for almost 2 seconds. And they're crippled as well. But not only that, you can throw your 2 on them. Crush. Scylla creates a magical field that slows enemies. After 5 seconds, it will detonate and cause damage, causes damage. Scylla may activate this ability again to detonate it early for no penance whatsoever. You just blow it up earlier and it does the damage. At max rank, enemies in the area also have their magical protections reduced, and targets hit by the damage are slowed for an additional 1 second. That means that inside that crush field, you take an addition, you have your protections reduced by 25%. That's pretty good. Not only that, but after you have been taking that damage, you will then take the slow damage. It will last for another second after you have been blown up. That means from a combination of her 1 and her 2, that means that she can control the movements of someone for up to about 3 seconds. Also as well, she will do stupid amounts of damage to them in the form of 165% scaling and over 550 base damage. That's pretty good. Now her 3 is called Sentinel. Passive, this just gives Scylla MP5, which actually just means that Scylla has a pretty decent MP5. She's not that mana hungry, and she regens mana pretty quickly. When she activates this ability though, Scylla summons a sentinel to a target location. She will then grant vision of enemies for 5 seconds. This basically acts as a ward. Scylla may activate this ability again within those 5 seconds to move to the sentinel location. This is a leap. This is important. Even though it goes underground, it is a leap. Very much like Hades, death from below. This is also a leap, so be careful if you're against a wheelish. You will get pulled out of sentinel and you will cry. But yeah, you do that. And then at max rank, the vision is granted through line of sight blockers and placement range is increased to 70 range. Originally, this thing is just 65, and this is kind of like the item which you go, hey, I wonder if there's someone over the wall right now. And you can do that. However, I will quickly just level everything up to rank 20, and then I will try and show you guys how well this goes, because I want you guys to see these, because it is important that you can see these. So, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so, right now, you can see Sentinel. That's as far as it can go, and it can go to about there-ish. And you can go like that to it, which is pretty sweet. This is Crush. Crush does this, and it lasts for 5 seconds. So yeah, I do want to check as well something that's really important to me. So that's 63, 60, yeah. So that takes the 63. So I think it's actually, there's an interesting thing about Crush, is it's inside this circle. They have the protections reduced, not anywhere else. So that was doing, what, 63 before? Yep, just want to check that. It should be doing more, but never mind. I'm pretty sure it does more, just the fact that Odin has, like, no protections means that it barely changes anything. But that's how it works. That's what it does. And then Sentinel, if we level up to level... Oh, no, wait, hang on. I didn't even upgrade the damn thing. That's why. Yeah, it does. So it's inside that circle. You see, it does more damage. Also, as well, just naturally, because I have these abilities leveled. So as you can see, it goes that little bit further now. And the range is increased. So you can see like that, and whoop, which is pretty damn sweet. So Sikkim does this, and that's what Sikkim does. The range on Sikkim as well is pretty damn good. It's a fairly long range ability, so that's kind of fun. Also as well, spinning around as her is quite fun. But you can see, yeah, it's got like it's about a 65 range on it, so you can do that, and then you can do that, and you can do that, and that's quite fun. But that's not even the game-changing ability. That would be her ultimate. And I think I'm just gonna let Scylla tell us what this one's called. Scylla, really? Really? Okay. Well, let's just try that. Let's just try that again. Let's just try that again. Don't worry, I can cut this all out in editing. It's alright. Nope, that's not the name of your ultimate. Come on, you can do it. You can do it, Scylla. I know you can do it. Nope. At least you get to see what this ability does. Well, you don't yet. All right, come on. Let's do it, Scylla. So come on. Alright, screw it. You've had enough time to try and tell me what it is. It's I'm a monster, and she can shout that, which is kind of fun. Scylla reveals her true nature, becoming CC immune for the next 6 seconds, and gaining movement speed. She may make one powerful attack during this time. However, if she kills an enemy god with this attack, she gains another 6 seconds and may attack again. At max rank, the movement speed bonus doubles. This has 120% scaling on it, and this ability is incredibly strong. It's incredibly strong. It's stupidly strong. It's... Oh my god, why is this ability so strong? It does 800 base damage and 120% scaling, and like I said, you can use these things multiple times. That's pretty, good, shall we say. Yes, I think we shall say that it is pretty good. So as you can see, she goes up like this, and she may do anything for 6 seconds, and if she kills someone, bonk. There is a wind up on it as well, so just bear that in mind. But an important thing that you can do, you can throw this out, and then ult someone. Just ult someone. And if you don't get the reset, you can blow it up. Normally you would want to blow it up, but remember that this has that 25% magical protection reduction when they're in it, so making the ult hit more is kind of more useful. Plus as well, if you do get that reset, boy, you laughing like all the way to the bank, because you just hit someone for like 1,000 damage, and then you get to do it again. And if you can hit one target and do 1,000 damage to them, and having already killed someone, you basically can turn a team fight. If you get 2 resets on this, or multiple people hit with I'm a Monster, and you kill one of them, you win a fight, like, Scylla can literally just go penta. She can just go like and pentakill. In fact, actually, that's how I got my first pentakill. Was literally it was a crush into Sikkim into ult 2 times, and they got me a pentakill. So yeah, Scylla's pretty damn strong. Either way, now that we've gone over the kit of Scylla, it's time to go over a build for Scylla. Okay then, so starting off level 1, you are going to be in the mid lane. There's no real point putting her anywhere else. Jungle can be quote-unquote fun, but she doesn't really have the clear for it early, nor the game potential. Solo, she gets pushed out. ADC is a joke. Support, she's not a support. So mid lane is where we're going to stick her, because that's what she do. Now, in terms of the starters, again, we do have the 2 options like we did with Soul. Sands of Time is magical power, MP5, and cooldown, which is pretty good. This means that she can do some pretty awesome stuff. However, Soulstone is also very useful, because early game Scylla has not the best clear. It's not great, so she can get pushed. So the quicker we can make her clear good, the better. So having that ability to gain back 40 mana, having already realized she's not that mana intensive, and also doing an additional 40 magical power after 5 basic attacks, means that when she crushes something, she gets that little bit of extra oomph on it, and she gets mana back, and it just helps her. Because that bonus 40 magical power isn't for the one ability, it's for the next 3 seconds she uses abilities. So she throws out Sikkim and Crush, both of them get that magical power applied, which she will need to do in the earlier stages. So you can go for that. You could say, if you wanted the absolute most power, then you go for this, and then you can go for the start of Doom Orb. This will give you 35 magical power. Ignore the 115. It's my passive that won't go away. So we gain that power, which is pretty good to start things off with, and a little bit of MP5. Not to mention as well, we get it back with Soulstone. So that's all pretty strong as well. After this sort of start, other things you can look at, you can say, I go for boots. If you want the absolute most potential, then there is Soul Trap. Soul Trap will give you, 65 magical power and 125 mana. That's pretty good early. That's pretty damn good early. Like, straight up, that's not bad in the slightest. This, again, does give you a very large amount of magical power. It's, I believe, the highest you could get in terms of, like, level 2 items. Like, let's see, like, you could get cooldown boots. That gives you 40. That's less than that. You could get that. You could get, what else could you actually efficiently get? You could get tier 2 Spear of the Magus. That doesn't even help you there. You could get tier 2 of this, which is Garbo. You could get this, which is 60 power, which isn't bad, but it kind of doesn't really build into anything that she wants. So she could get into that, which, again, does pretty good. She could build Warlock Sash. Don't build Warlock Sash. She could, there's not really that much she could build into. So Soul Trap works out pretty nicely as a option for her, because all you're trying to do is get past that early game. And chances are you're going to be building this item anyway. So again, very Glass Cannon-ish build, but you can do it. However, chances are the main thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want your starter, and then boots is pretty much what you're going to want to finish. Unless you start for Book of Thoth tier 2, in which case then you get Book of Thoth, and you rush and you finish that, and then get Shoes of the Magi. So after that, that's what we do. Now we do want those pen shoes. The pen is what we want. The power is what we want. We don't want the cooldown. We can already get cooldown off other items, so we don't really want that. Also as well, we really just want that power. We want pen and power. So we do that. And it is, as Scylla has rightly said, damage for the win. Next up, again, you can go Dynasty Plate Helm. This will give you a lot of penetration, a lot of magical power, a lot of protection, which is very, very nice, especially early. This can be that bridge item that Scylla just needs. It can just sort of really push her into that section where it's like, ha, I actually do something now. So now she gets that. I would definitely recommend a Book of Thoth, because it's so good for Scylla. Just getting that huge numbers out your ass amounts of power is great. So getting that is pretty good. Next up, we can actually look away from penetration, because at this point we're going to start leveling out our wave clear ability, and that's going to be Crush. And Crush has that 25% on it. So we don't have to worry too much about penetration until later on. At which point we could say sell our Dynasty Player Helm. So at this point we can say, you know what, let's forego a very high, like, you know, like, we can forego the obsidian shard. We already have 25% in our kit, so we can go away from that. And so instead, what we could look at is something just to keep us a little bit more healthy, and that's kind of useful, and that is Ethereal Staff. Ethereal Staff just lets you blow stuff up a little bit harder, and that 5% additional max health is a mini Soul Reaver. Getting the health is very nice on Scylla. She's incredibly squishy. The magical power is still pretty good. You can play her full out like glass cannon, like straight up glass cannon. Like she blows someone up, but she gets blown up, which is perfectly fine. However, I'm kind of not great, so instead you can get the Ethereal Staff. You can get Ethereal Staff over Thoth. It's entirely up to you. I'm just throwing out these options here. So we get this kind of thing. Next up, we kind of want that Rod of Tahuti. The reason we want Rod of Tahuti is because we want all our damage to be big. And then finally, we can start looking at selling our Dynasty Plate Helm for other stuff. Other stuff that we can get here in place of this. Well, one item that's pretty good for her is Polynomicon. And the sheer reason is, if you 3 and dash into someone and poly them straight away, you pretty much guarantee yourself 300 damage, provided you hit that shot. At minimum, 300 damage, if not more. Scylla very easily can hit for 600 with Polynomicon, if not more. So, Polynomicon will be very strong. If you root someone into Polynomicon, you just kill them, straight up. Like, you actually just kill them. So, Polynomicon on Scylla is basically amazing. Like, there is no other words for it. Polynomicon does stupidly good things. And then finally, items are things like Spear of Desolation. You can get this earlier in a build. It's a lot of power, it's a lot of pen, and it's cooldown reduction. And reduction when you receive a kill or assist. Pretty good. Or you could go Chronos Pendant. Both of these options are absolutely fine. If you want, and you get to the late game and you're like, Ethereal Staff's really not that helpful, you could go Soul Reaver. And you could just say, like, I'm just looking to blow someone up really, really fast. Personally, I like, it's kind of a bit more mix and match for what you want. There's, of course, Obsidian Shard. Obsidian Shard, if you are going to go into this kind of stuff and then not building that magically defensive, then you can forgo it. But I would actually recommend getting an Obsidian Shard. It is important. You do need to do some damage to stuff outside of your crush. So that's pretty good. And then late game, if you never went the Ethereal Staff, then, and you've got another spare slot, then Spear of Deso is pretty good. This kind of a build is kind of pretty damn strong. I mean, you get the Dynasty Plate Helm. Yeah. So let's. This is building on the fly and trying to work out these builds, because I don't necessarily plan the build parts out. I just sort of get some ideas going and then we see how it goes. So you can go. We'll go Soulstone because we want to get that early pressure. Then we go into the Dynasty Plate Helm. After this, we get Book of Thoth, and now we want to get some penetration, so we're going to get Spear of Desolation. After this point, now that we have a lot of... What is that? That's 45 penetration, I believe. Is that 45? Yeah, so that 45 plus the 25 is going to see us through for pretty much a very large portion of the game. So now we can go and just try and get that Rod of Tahuti. If we need it, then we can sell Dynasty. We can go and get Obsidian Shard, or even sell the Dynasty Plate Helm and get Obsidian Shard. But then we'll say we sell Dynasty Plate Helm, get the Obsidian Shard. Now we get the Rod of Tahuti, and then final item, finish it up with a Polynomicon because we're dirty like that. Also as well, Polynomicon gives us mana, which gives us more for this. So. So as you can see, Scylla has a pretty good amount in her kit in terms of damage. This is including her passive as well, so let's just get to level 20 because, you know, I just wanna, there we go. And now we just max out all those abilities. And yeah, as you can see, we hit pretty hard. That's pretty good. So let's just see how much damage they're all going to do. It's going to do 1,730 damage. Ra has how much HP? 1,700. Okay, that's just cruel. So let's do that. Bonk. Good night. Okay, and now let's just wait on him again and bonk. As you can see, yeah, he dead. So, give me a sec to stack Thoth here. And this is pretty much how it is. And just to show you how much damage this does, as you can see, I can sit here and And just keep hitting Graph forever and a day. As you can see, he can't even hit me at this point. In fact, actually, if I just go like this and... Bonk. That's pretty good. So yeah, as you can see, Ra just doesn't even get the chance to end. So that's pretty strong. And yeah, just to show you again, that's a pretty good amount of damage, if I do say so myself. So yeah, I have 803 magical power. My ult hits for 1,700 damage, which if it doesn't delete a target, will put them on 1 HP, which means they're going to die. And that's pretty strong. Now let's just quickly go and throw the red buff into this mix. Oh yeah, and let's see just how much damage Polynomicon will hit for. Alright, that's 603 damage, so that's pretty good. So if you hit Crush on someone... Oh, and this was without, this is without a lot of my, super strong potential. So, yeah, Polynomicon hits... let's just hit Fire Giant, see how much we can hit the Fire Giant for. So that throws that out there, and... Okay, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's indeed pretty good. So we'll do that, and then that was 500 damage, bearing in mind that we have like a 20% destruction down. So yeah, I can I hit over 1,000 damage right now, which means my ultimate does 2,050 damage. That's a lot. Like, that's a lot. Sikkim hits for 1,000 damage. Polynomicon hits for almost 800. Crush hits for 1,200 damage. If you hit any of your abilities late game, like, and this is the super late game, then you blow someone up. Oh, Ra! What's that? You didn't build any health in your items. Well, that's a shame, isn't it? You just took 2,000 damage. That's pretty good. So yeah, that's how the Scylla do. In terms of actives, beads and Aegis, you can get blink, but please, if you're gonna get blink, get it second, okay? Don't buy blink first. I know people who buy blink first, and their reasoning is, well, it either works amazingly or I fall behind super hard. So what you're essentially saying is there is a 25% chance that I do absolutely amazing and carry the game with blink. There is a, should we say, 70% chance that it kind of doesn't really do anything and I die a little bit and I could have really used beads. Which means there is a 5% chance that it completely ruins everything and they abuse the hell out of you and you never get off the ground and even reach level 12 to get beads. That means that 3 out of 4 times, this will do awfully. Please. Please don't buy blink first. You don't have the ability to buy blink first. Early game, you need to just survive. That's what Scylla do. That's how Scylla do the do, is she needs to just survive. So do that. But if you want to get blink, and you can blink in Sikkim and just blow someone up, it's amazing. However, bear in mind, you are now in the front line. You are Scylla. You have 1,725 health. You are squishy. That, I wish you the best of luck. And if you can catch someone unawares, it's amazing. But, honestly, beats and Aegis. Keep your booty alive. It's important. So yeah, having your abilities do that much damage. As you can see, that was... Let's just go to the combat log, because that's the easiest way. Okay, so that was 928 plus 668 from Poly plus 257. So we'll say 670 plus 930. That's 1,600. That's 1,850 damage from doing this. That's pretty good. Now, admittedly, that is without mitigating anything, which is not really going to be a thing that you're going to be allowed to do. I mean, if you do, then you've got, what, like 20, 30%, or 30 penetration plus this, which is 30%, which is pretty good in the Poly. So yeah, that's how the Scylla do. But now that we've gone over a build for the Scylla, let's go over a leveling guide. Alright then, so Scylla, level 1. Unfortunately, you don't blow people up just yet, but you do need to blow up the wave. So let's have a look and see what we have. We have Sikkim, which does damage to 1 target. That's not great for us. We have Crush, which does damage to everything, which we need. We have Sentinel, which does no damage. So, we get Crush. We need Crush first. Crush is going to be the first thing we level. This is the priority, like, #1. After we get Crush, we kind of do need Sikkim to just help us in lane. We just need it. Yes, if they're going to be very aggressive and punch you in the face a lot, then get your dash. And I have no qualms with you saying you got the dash. However, 7 out of 10 times, it's fine to get Sikkim. And if they are aggressing on you, you root and cripple them in place. Like, unless it's like a Susanoo who's going to pull you out of place, or someone who can disrupt where you are, then you should be okay to get Sikkim. And getting Sikkim enables you to just hit that first minion in the wave, get some basic attacks in, and then Crush. If you've got the Soul Stone as well, you're getting back 40 mana from it anyway, and you're able to just do a little bit more with it, so you're able to clear the lane a little bit harder, so that's pretty good. So we get that. Level 3, at this point, a lot of argument is going to be said for Crush, because it's wave clear and you need it. Some will say get Sentinel just for safety. Again, this one's kind of, how do I feel in the matchup? So if you feel like you just want to get your head down, hard farm, and you know you can play safe with your positioning, then get that second point in Crush. If not, get that Sentinel. Either way, level 4 is going to look something like this. That's what it's going to look like. So that's what we're going to have in terms of our kit. So this is what it's going to be. Now we're going to get ourselves I'm a Monster. And we do want I Am a Monster. It's pretty good. At this point now, we're going to keep leveling up Crush. And we're going to keep leveling it up. But now, ooh, hang on a sec. This is kind of awkward. Because of Scylla's passive, I really want to get Crush. But at the same time, I also next level really want the ultimate. So what we're going to do at level 8 is we are not going to put a point in anything. Because we don't want to level our 1. We don't want to level our 3. We want our 2 and our 4. We want those more than anything else. Like, straight up. We don't want a piddly little 50 damage on Sikkim. We don't need the additional vision and MP5 from Sentinel. We need damage from Crush. We need damage from a monster. So we are going to skip a level point here. And level 9. Now we have 2 points available to us. And we're going to level I'm a Monster. And we are going to level the Crush. This means that at level 9, not only do I activate my passive on Crush, but I get that level 2 ultimate. This is known as point skipping. Very few gods use this, and you've heard me say it a couple times in previous ones, like, you don't really need to hold a point or anything, but you can if you want, or you can put it in here. Scylla is one of those gods where it is absolutely, categorically, fundamentally important to hold that point, because holding that point excels you so much further when you hit level 9. It is just necessary, because you gain that 25% magical reduction on Crush. You gain that 100 damage on a monster. And those are the most important thing. Not to mention, you gain an additional 20 magical power at level 9 for doing nothing other than reaching level 9. And at level 9, 20 magical power ain't bad. That's like a tier 1, some tier 2 items have 20 magical power on them. You know, like we look at this, you know, there's 30 magical power. I mean, it's a little other stats. You know, here's 15 magical power. All these kinds of things. You know, here's 30 magical power. Here's 25 magical power. You know, I just got almost a spell focus in terms of damage for nothing. That's a bonus 650 gold almost in terms of just pure damage numbers. That's pretty good. So we do that. Next up, we start leveling up Sikkim. Sikkim we do now start wanting because it's kind of useful to have that little bit of additional burst on it. And then we level Sikkim again. And now we level Sikkim again. And here's the next point, where we have to ask a very important question. Do I want to level Sikkim, or do I want to level I'm a Monster? On the surface of it, I'm a Monster is my ultimate. It does 100 bonus damage, and I get the reset on it. And you'd think, well, I just level my ultimate. However, do not forget Scylla's passive. Getting Sikkim to hit 2 other targets essentially triples the damage that you get on Sikkim. That means that you're not getting a bonus 50 damage on Sikkim. You are getting a bonus 6 let's see, it goes from 210 to 780 damage. That is a bonus 570 damage just for leveling this ability. And we get another bonus amount of power. I mean, it's not 570 additional damage, but it hits 3 targets, and that's triples the efficiency of the ability, which is amazing. And it means that the ultimate is going to start hitting harder because we get that additional 20 magical power anyway, so the ult still technically gets a little bit of power off it. You know, it's nothing to scoff at, so we get that. Next up, we level I'm a Monster at level 14. Scylla is again one of those few gods where you have to kind of think when you want to level stuff. And now we are going to start leveling Sentinel because we need it. However, this time there's no reason not to get the ultimate at level 17, so we're going to get that because it does more damage. Then we get this at level 18, then we get this at level 19, and now finally at level 20, we're back on top with I'm a Monster, and we do a boatload of damage because who doesn't love doing a boatload of damage? So yeah, in terms of kit rotation, your objective is one of two things. It's going to be to do this and then that, pretty much, because that's going to do, what was that? That was like 60% scaling plus 120% scaling. There's 180% scaling plus 1,060 base damage. So, yeah, you do that. Other things you're going to do, your whole objective is to be in the back line and throw this out and just plop it down and blow it up. You can leave it a little bit, but honestly, you'll hear Scylla's players do this a lot when they're firing Crush because they just want to blow it up. Like, straight up, you don't want to hold Crush, you just want to blow it up. Because let's say we're in the wave, alright? Let's say we're like, oh, we need to clear the wave, and it's earlier, and things like that. What you're going to want to do is you're going to try and push them, poke the wave a bit. You're going to try and hit them with basics. If you're against the Scylla, try not to let them hit the basics for free on the wave. So you want to sort of bunch the minions up, bunch the minions up, bunch the minions up. Like that. And you should actually hit that one as well, but I suck and missed. So you want to do that, and you want to just blow it up. And the reason you want to blow it up instantly is very simple. You blow it up early because let's say I just happen to catch Ra on the edge of this. You know, then that's good. Now, if you are going to throw it out, make sure as well that you're hitting the whole wave. That's important. So blow it up instantly as long as you made sure you've hit the whole wave. If you haven't hit the whole wave, then wait on it. But you don't need to wait that long on it. You basically only need to wait like a second. If you manage to catch an enemy god in the range of it, blow it up instantly. The damage, if it's sort of mid-game and you've got Crush maxed, is really good. So that's pretty useful. So just do that. Try and hit all the minions as well. I'm kind of being an idiot and very poorly showing you how to use this ability. So yeah, an earlier game, you're gonna need to use Sikkim as well. Like straight up, you're going to need to use Sikkim on the wave. Bonk, you're gonna need to do that, and then you're gonna need to do that because you just need it. So yeah, when it comes to objectives, your ultimate is an amazing secure. However, just be very careful and remember the wind up on it. It has about a second wind up on it, and as well, don't put yourself right on top of the objective. You don't need to be right on top of it. You're a mage, you have range. Also as well, if you're right on top of it, then the enemy, who may also be going for the steal, like Kraken from Poseidon, Vulcan Ultimate, Ra Snipe, Nox Ultimate, you know, anything, Nuar, Clay Soldiers or whatever, you don't need to be right here. You actually do more damage to yourself doing that. So you can be very far away. And you see there, look at that. That was a nice chunk of damage. Remember as well that inside the area of your 2, you get 25% magical protection reduction. So if you are going to throw that out, leave Crush on the ground when you're looking for objective secure. Because if your ult doesn't do quite enough damage, then you've got that to follow it up. Also as well, you can throw that out if you're looking to try and steal objectives. It's the I'm not committing with my ultimate, but I'm still trying to steal it objective. And you can time it. So if you want to do like the ultimate secure, with the ultimate, it's this. Bonk. Like that. Like that does 2,800 damage. That's pretty good. And again, that's just pretty much what the do. I mean, admittedly, that's with a Fire Giant buff, killing the Fire Giant, but you'll never get that, but you know, that's how it is. The vision that you get from your 3, while important, this is still your escape and still has a 13-second cooldown. So yes, it's really useful to get more vision on stuff. However, if you throw out Sentinel, because this thing has the 5 seconds of you can teleport to it, this ability doesn't go on cooldown for 5 seconds. So effectively, this thing has a 5-second cooldown before it goes on cooldown. So that's very important. Either way, I really hope you enjoy Scylla. Like I said, when it comes to turning team fights, if she gets a reset on her ultimate, she can blow up like 2.5 people. If she needs to, she will just go and ult the Titan, because at the end of the day, she can blow up Titan. She'll drop her crush, she'll hit the Titan with her ultimate, blow it up, she'll throw out a basic if she's got poly, and she'll just destroy it. Because remember, if you are trying to secure an objective, throw out your crush and then use your other abilities, because it has that 25% max rank penetration reduction. Don't worry about it on gods, just try and blow them up like super fast. Don't give them a chance to Aegis or beads or do anything else. Just blow it up instantly. Like, you want to be doing like spamming out that almost instantly. Like, that's almost instant damage in a 20 radius. Like, that's insane. That's nuts. That's not even like I'd go so far as to say that's kind of OP. Like, bang. Look at that. That is a second wind up for 1,200 damage. I'll take it. Also as well, again, this ability is one of those where it's like, oh, I have 5 seconds cooldown time on it. If you're against a Scylla, be careful if you see those lines around the edge slow down. That means it's going to end. But the reason you'll see a lot of Scylla spam this out is the same reason players on Ao Kuang throw away the dragons. You want to put it on cooldown. So you want to throw this out there and instantly just put it on cooldown. And that's what you do. Either way, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching this video on Scylla. I hope you have found it useful, and I hope you enjoy playing Scylla. Just remember, her early game ain't great. She is late game. Coast the early, try and be around in kills, try and set up kills for the ultimate. You can do it. We saw in the past, like, Naja's into Scylla ultimates. It's amazing damage and just destroys people. She can do work for level 5 onwards, but she really comes online sort of around level 13, 14 is when she starts really ratcheting it up. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, in the comment section down below, let me know if there are any gods in particular that you actually want to see, because this is for you guys. I give you guys the information on stuff that you want so that you can go away and have more fun with the game that we all love here. Let us know in the comment section. Let me know in the comment section down below what you thought about this video, whether you thought this was useful, whether you have any tips, tricks, builds, experiences with Scylla, the good and the bad. We can all have a laugh and learn from them and better the community as a whole. My name has been SuperSonicBlur. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and favorite for more, and to share this stuff so people know that it exists. You guys have been a fantastic audience, and I shall see you all next time.